Hey everybody, welcome to Rumble and Breaks. It's race Sunday, and this week we are in Singapore after a 3-week hiatus. This is the first time that they've actually raced in Singapore in the last 3 years. Just a quick recap of the last 3 weeks. We've had the signings of Guan Yu Zhou to Alfa Romeo, and AlphaTauri re-signed Yuki Tsunoda. And word is that we think that Latifi is out, the GOAT. We'll talk about him a little bit more after. And the rumblings of the rumor mill is that this man's probably going to go to AlphaTauri, meaning that Pierre Gasly will be most likely signing with Alpine. What do you think? What do you think? I don't know. There's definitely been some bad blood with Ocon and Gasly. So, I think in the next seasons of Drive to Survive, it's going to be some interesting content. All right. So this week's race, it was very wet. It was delayed by an hour and it's in a little bit, and it ended up being a little strange of a race because, and we'll talk about who actually won the race first. So in third place, we actually had the smooth operator himself, Carlos Sainz. In second place, we had Charles Leclerc. And in first place, the ever-deserving Sergio Perez as the winner. There's been some discussion as to whether he was actually going to win in this race or not, because there was there was rumblings about whether he was going to get some penalties, and I think Ferrari was pushing for at least two penalties that would have cost him 10 seconds. They were trying to I think Charles Leclerc was trying to actually catch up and come within the 5-10 second penalty range. What are your thoughts? Let me know in your comments below. Like, what do you guys think about the race itself? Like, was it interesting for you guys, or you guys and girls? Like, was it, like I don't know. I thought that the first part of the race was kind of like meh, kind of boring. But sort of after like one after the other getting knocked out. Latifi knocking out Guan Yu Zhou. It just seems like he just drove right into the wall. Like it was like he didn't check his mirrors at all. It kind of not very good at driving in there, and you can see why he's probably gonna lose his seat next season. And poor Zhao, like he was doing all right, and then lost it. And at the start of the race was kind of weird with Verstappen. I think Verstappen was what, in like seventh or eighth, and it was it looked like he had a pretty poor start, like 4 or 5 cars driving past him. And yeah, it was a really strange race because I think we end up losing like 6 drivers at the end of all of it. So it was like 6 drivers. Yeah, 6 drivers. I think George Russell actually brought up the rear there. I think he tried to do his own thing with his the wheels. I think he was the first person to actually put on the slicks. Out of the gate, you saw him do a little bit of a fishtail right out of the pit. Yeah. So I mean, overall, it was an interesting race. Right at the end, this is actually one of the first races I've seen in a very long time, or actually, since I actually started watching F1, that it actually finished under time constraints. So I think in totality, I think they were at like 56 type laps. So I've never seen that before. I'm not sure if any of you have seen that at all, but it was interesting. It was I thought that at the end of it was just going to be a hard stop. Like the minute that the clock ran down to 0, that was it. But I think they all got an extra lap. I guess if there was some sort of tightness in placement, that you actually had the opportunity to catch up. So all right, so why don't we get cracking on some of these packs here that we got. Oops. First pack. Now look at this dynamic duo. They did not bad this week. They had I think 4th and 5th place finishes for the McLaren boys. Next, and there you go, Charles Leclerc. That's not too bad. Marcus Armstrong. There was definitely no F2 races this week. Sebastian Vettel. He had Aston Martin actually had a pretty good race this week too, with I think he finished in like ninth. Lewis Hamilton. He it's very rare that you see him sort of mess up. He came in I think he ended up finishing eighth, or seventh or eighth. So not too bad. Alex Albon, after his appendicitis surgery, he came back and he was in race condition, so not too bad. Marino Sato, that's not too bad. F2 driver, did okay this season. Little Lance Stroll, again, not too bad from Lance Stroll as well. He actually, I think, finished in the points, if I'm not mistaken. Esteban Ocon, that was terrible. That basically Alpine, they lost both drivers in this race. And lastly, we have a 100 club, Charles Leclerc. See, I'm pronouncing it right. Okay. All right, let's get to the next pack. It's interesting. So, like all that Red Bull stuff went down, or not the Red Bull stuff, all the Alpine stuff went down after, essentially Colton Hurt, FIA actually made the decision that, he was definitely not eligible to race. Lando Norris, that's not too bad. Carlos Sainz. Mick Schumacher. I don't know. At the very end of the race, you saw a heads up between him and George Russell, and George Russell was like, what's going on with this guy? Like, he's racing like his life depends on it. I mean, it kind of did, because he was definitely racing for his seat. He's currently not signed by Haas, so not sure what's going on there, whether he's actually going to retain his seat or not. Ole Caldwell, not too bad. Lewis Hamilton. I actually got instructions to how to play this game. So I think at some point we'll open up the instruction package and see what to actually learn how to play this game. Alonso, again, poor Alonso. I can't believe his car just died and he got knocked out as a result. Max Verstappen, Yuki Tsunoda. Oh, I can't believe he just crashed right into the wall, like no unprovoked crash into the wall. And lastly, Lance Stroll. Oh, that's not it. Well, lastly, it's Mick Schumacher again. Thought that was a number, but it's not. It's not too bad. Third pack. Carlos Sainz. Lando Norris. He just keeps looking like one of these villains in the movies, but it's not. Team Trio. Lewis Hamilton. Esteban Ocon. Sergio Perez, the race winner. Franz Tost. Team principal for AlphaTauri. Bottas. BWT. I still haven't figured out what these cards are for. And just a regular AlphaTauri card. And lastly, we got our Topps Chrome pack. So let's see what we get here. Again, always hoping for a Lewis Hamilton or one of the other drivers. Last time we got a bunch of Latifis. Not sure whether it was rigged against us, but we got Latifis. And let's see what we get here. This product is pretty difficult to actually get a mid condition card. Roman Grosjean, man on fire, and like last season's, I think he's doing pretty decent in IndyCar. I think he's in top 10 if I'm not mistaken. Next we have Alfa Romeo. That's the team card. Esteban Ocon. That's not a bad card for. And lastly, we've got a Samala. It's an F2 card. So overly not that great, but at least we got an Esteban Ocon rookie card. I think it's a rookie card or one of his earlier cards. So that's not too bad. So well, next week is Japan. So I think it's only 4 or 5 days to that race, and we'll look forward to it. It's definitely in the middle of the night, so I'm not sure, 50-50 as to whether I'm actually going to wake up in the middle of the night to actually watch it, but who knows? Let us know what you think about the race. Love to hear your thoughts. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.